This is my plan, my business plan, and you're going to help me with. I'm trying to take people that are broke and help them with money, okay? So I have sales programs that help them with money, okay? So I'm trying to help this guy with money because my end goal is to turn every person on here today into an investor. This is my end goal right here. I want all of you to be investors in Cardone Capital. You cannot invest with me if you don't have money and you have uncertainty. Most people don't have money, they're low on money and high on uncertainty. If you don't have money, you can't invest with me. This is my job to solve that problem. I discovered this when I started writing books. 88% of all books are never finished. Okay, when I saw that, Penguin told me, hey man, 88% of all books are never finished. I'm like, oh wow, that's a problem. So what did we do? We created audio products and video products that we can track. So now when somebody starts a book on my online programs, I know when they stop the book. And then I can communicate with them. Hey, dude, you stopped on chapter 26. I can actually start communicating with people. Because if you can't get through the book, you're not going to tell anybody about the book. Who's going to recommend a book they didn't finish? Right? So that's when audiobooks, like our audiobooks and our video books, outsell our real books by like 20 to 1. Okay, why am I telling you that? Because I'm taking responsibility for building my business through people. I want to build a group of investors for my future businesses. And you can't invest with me if you don't have money and you don't have confidence, okay? The last reason I'm doing this, I'm telling you why I'm doing this because everybody keeps asking this. I want to change the world. I want to change the way people invest money. And right now you're being lied to, you're being tricked, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise $1 billion. I'm going to raise $1 billion online. It's never been done before. And I'm going to change the way people invest in real estate. I'm going to go shock Wall Street. Okay, real quick. Let me give you my story real quick just so you know who I am in case you don't know anything about me. Lower middle class family. My dad died at 10. My mom raised us. My dad was in the middle class. He made it. Everybody thought he made it. Everybody celebrated. Oh my God, you did so good. He did better than anybody else in his family. He thought he had made it. And my mom had to sell the house the week after he died, okay? Now, at that point, I'm 10 years old. Now we realize he didn't make it. If my dad was in heaven looking down and my mom's having to unload the house that he had paid for in cash, she had to cash in the life insurance money, okay? No more money coming in. I'll guarantee you my dad's up there from heaven looking down saying, dang, I let him down, dog. She couldn't keep the house. Couldn't keep the guy mowing the lawn. Couldn't keep the guy, servicing the trees and the roof and the paint. Okay, from that point on, my mom saved everything. Every day, everything was about save, save, save. She forced us to go to college. She believed that going to college was a way to a better job. Okay, I spent 5 years in college. It cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to college, hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost income. By the way, the more education I got, the less money I seem to have. Okay, grew up 25 years old, I'm broke and in debt. I got $40,000 worth of debt, I'm broke. I don't know anything, okay? I always wanted to have money. I wanted to have money not because I wanted money, I wanted to have money because I wanted to help my mom and I couldn't. It killed me to watch me not be able to help my mom. I love my mom, man. I couldn't help her. I didn't know what to do. So I just turned off the lights and I didn't flush the toilet and I ate all my food and I did all the things my mom said do, but it didn't solve any of the problems. Probably the way you were brought up, okay? So I want you to know why I'm doing it, okay? Because this is my mission. This is my purpose, okay? I recommitted to my education about wealth after I'd given up on it. At 25 years old, I'd been out of college for 2 years and I'd given up on wealth. I was broke, in debt, hated my job, lost 6 jobs, McDonald's, a furniture store, a refinery, a clothing store, what was that other job? I don't know. Oh yeah, roofer. I was terrible at that, 3 days, okay? Lost all those jobs, man. I was the black sheep of my family, and basically at 25 years old, I had a drug problem, an alcohol problem, a commitment problem, a job problem, and my entire family thought I was a loser. More importantly, I thought I was a loser. So just so you guys know, you look at me today, you're like, oh, he's flying private, and he's got freaking businesses, and he's got a big Instagram following, blah, blah, blah. It hadn't always been like that, okay? 25, I'm like, I gotta get my shit together here. College didn't do it. Nobody was gonna help me. I hated my job. Can't go back to college. What am I gonna do? I recommitted. This was the first time I started studying, okay? This was one thing that really helped me a lot. Okay, for the first time in my life at 25 years old, kind of like where you are today, what you're doing today, you're making a commitment to your education, okay? This really changed my life right here. 25 years old, I'm like, I'm going to study money, finance, and economics for myself. Now it wasn't the teacher telling me, you got economics 101 today, okay? Or you got the accounting class this afternoon. Or your statistics class is next year. This was me now deciding what I'm going to study. What I did in the beginning was I went and grabbed Wall Street Journal, Barron's Magazine, books like this, okay? I started studying stuff like the Treasury and the Fed. Dude, I was overwhelmed. I mean, I was like, you know. Huh? None of it helped me. But my commitment was there, okay? And what I quickly realized was I was studying books of people that wrote about economics, people that reported what happened in the market yesterday. And I'm like, wait a minute, man. I need to study people that created wealth. I didn't have any money. I didn't need to study my doctor next door. I can't be a doctor. I didn't need to study the dentist down the street. I'm not a dentist. I couldn't study the rich lawyer in my town. He's a rich lawyer, dude. I don't have a lawyer degree. I'm like, I need to study people that don't have anything. And that's when I started studying what's the word? Self-made. They're not really self-made, right? All these people actually did something very similar when I started studying. Like, if I go all the way back, I go study J.P. Morgan. All these old guys, I'm talking about when it was black and white. Everything's black and white. It's J.P. Morgan, the Rockefellers, DuPonts, the Carnegies. All these people had nothing. Like, none of these people had started with money. Some of them did. A handful of them started in politics, and they were very well connected. But most of these guys are like, hey, man, there's a need for moving products across the country. Okay? All these guys ended up in real estate, by the way. Every single one of them. Every guy. The oil guys, the railroad guys, the steel guys, they all had to control real estate. Ray Kroc was a guy I studied. How Ray got a hold of McDonald's and ran that. So I started studying the super wealthy. Okay, what did they do? How did they start? How did they start from zero? Okay, and all of a sudden I started discovering stuff that was completely different than what my mom and dad were doing. They were never talking about saving money. Okay, they were taking risk in the beginning. These guys were taking massive risk, and my family was taking no risk. They were spending tremendous amounts of money and energy. My family was taking none of those risks. They were traveling the world, okay? They were thinking global, and my family was thinking about being involved in the local chamber of commerce. I was like, oh my God, man. And my dad made it. They weren't talking about the middle class. These people were talking about creating tremendous amounts of wealth worldwide, okay? They weren't thinking about their job. They were thinking about how many jobs they could create. Walt Disney went bankrupt 3 times on debt. I was taught to avoid debt, and Walt Disney was borrowing money. Now, I got to tell you, man, my dad was an awesome dude, but he wasn't Walt Disney. Fucking Walt Disney created Mickey Mouse. By the way, how did he do the Mickey Mouse thing? And how many failures did he have before Mickey Mouse? Mickey Mouse was not his first idea. In fact, his first idea, he couldn't use it. And then all of a sudden, when I started studying these guys, I wasn't studying books this big. I was starting to study what these guys did. And I started making notes of what they had in common with one another. I stumbled on to Warren Buffett, how he made investments. I had been told my whole life, make sure you don't have all your eggs in one basket. If you go back and look at Warren Buffett's career from the get-go, this guy he loaded up heavy in one thing at a time. He didn't do a second thing. He wasn't thinking about, being an owner or chairman of 16 or 18 or 20 or 30. I find out how many companies Warren's invested in now. He made took big, giant positions in one company. Warren only bought a second company when he couldn't take a bigger position in the company he had already invested in. These people were not, what's it called? What's the word? Diversified. They were heavily, heavily committed, okay? The Rockefellers, heavily committed in one thing until they became so wealthy, they had to be involved in many, many things. The point of that is this, okay? The way my mom and dad tried to create wealth, okay, was different than the way the wealthy were creating it. The way, He's only involved in 60 companies. By the way, he didn't make his first money until his late 50s. So for all of you out there, you're like, man, oh, by the way, the guy loves sales. Okay, all these guys, all the guys in the beginning. I'm not talking about their families. I'm not talking about, Warren's kids or the Walton's kids, Bill Walton's kids, the Walmart, Sam Walton's kids. I'm not talking about the kids. I'm talking about the guy. Henry Ford. All those guys believed in income, revenue, how to drive revenue. They didn't raise money back in those days. They had to get an idea sold in the public, bring it to market, sell it. All these guys almost went bankrupt. All these guys were using debt when necessary. Now, my mom's household, the household I was brought up in, it was filled with uncertainty, insecurity, fear, avoid risk. I started studying these guys at 25 years old. At 31, I'm a millionaire. I'm like, my God, man, 5 years. In 5 years of me doing self-study, like what you're doing right now, I created more wealth for myself and my family than my dad had created in his entire lifetime. I didn't have a super job, didn't have some kind of great, job like my dad. My dad was a stockbroker doing a bull market in the 50s. He did great, but he didn't do what I did in just 5 years. Since then, I have gone from being broke to, I would burn my first $1 million right now and not even miss it. I'd be like, yeah, okay, we lost $1 million. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't brag about it. I wouldn't tell anybody I did that. But today I'm worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know, maybe I've been lucky. I probably had some breaks along the way, but mostly it's just been freaking hard work. I am way further along than I ever thought I would be. I never imagined in my lifetime I would be doing what I'm doing today. Flying on a plane with my name on it. Never ever thought about it until 2 or 3 years ago. Didn't even think it was possible. I think I'll probably become a billionaire in my lifetime, in this lifetime. And I know for sure the kids are going to be freaking rich beyond their wildest imagination. Now, that's all about me, right? I've done it, but the deal is, Jay-Z says in the song Boss, he's like, hey, we think we're broke if the people around us are broke. Okay, the thing for me, and the thing for super wealthy people is they want the people around them doing well. I have done this for a lot of other people as well. I've proven through my books and my programs, through webcasts like this, through our online programs, through our conferences. I've done this for a lot of other people. Dale, 53 years old, worth 12 to 15 million bucks today. Jared, 34 years old. How old are you? 34 years old, worth a couple $1 million today. Okay, Diane, a retired lady, 70 years old. She just got a check for over $1 million. Okay. I just start naming people, Gary, Steve, Dave, people that work here. Thousands of other people, maybe some of you watching right now. I was in Scottsdale yesterday, 2 days ago. Guy walks up to me at 6:30 in the morning, brings me some coffee and says, hey man, guy can't even talk to me. Were you there? It was just me, yeah. So he's like, oh my God, man, I've been waiting here since like 6:30. He's like, oh my God, man. He's like, I got turned on to you 3 years ago. My company's gonna make $5 million this year. I said, what do you do? He's like, I'm a contractor. He's like, man, I was just freaking banging on stuff, working with my hands. I got a company. Me and my partner are going to do $5 million this year. The number one reason I'm qualified today to help you is I'm willing to help you, okay? Throw the jet away. Throw the money away. Throw all the other people away. Throw all the Instagram following, the Facebook following. Throw away the fact that I've worked for Toyota and Chrysler and Morgan Stanley and Google. The number one reason I'm qualified to help you, that I'm the guy that should do this with you, is because I'm making myself available. This is what rich people should do, and they don't. You know what they do? They give their money away. Rich people give their money away. They don't help you. The billionaires aren't helping you, and they should. But what they do, what do the Gates do? They're like, we're going to give our entire fortune away. Awesome. But what Billy Boy should do is he should talk to you and say, this is what I was doing when I was 20. This is what I was doing when I was 23, okay? This is what the super wealthy should do, and I'm going to tell you why they don't do it, okay? Because the moment they come out, Colin Kaepernick, okay, comes out, takes a position, dude, half the world hates him. Kanye takes a position. The hate is unbelievable. When you're super wealthy like that, it's better to just like, let me just give money away and stay out of everything. I'm going to lay low. I've chosen not to do that, okay? I'm willing to help you, so I want to help you.